Hello, everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Lives. It's 7 p.m. EST. We switched from daylight savings last week, so I hope that all of you saw that in my messages. Welcome to Monday Night Lives in the Launching Life with Autism Facebook group. This group is for parents who are new to autism, who are struggling with the chaos that autism has brought to their lives. If that sounds like you and you want to get calm, understand, and connect with your child, then you are in the right place. And I'm your host, Erin Porter. I went through this chaos during 28 years in education, and now I'm on a mission to help parents get through it too. What I learned and implemented in over 28 years in the classroom and in special education has helped hundreds of parents and teachers calm the chaos that autism has brought to their lives. Now, if you're here, say hi in the comments. I would love to see who is here tonight. Hello, Beth. Hello, Catrice. Hello, Anand. Thank you for saying hi because Facebook tells me the number of people who are here, but it never ever tells me who is here. So, welcome. I'm glad you're here tonight. Tonight, we're talking about a mindset shift um, and a difference in perspective with the use of one little word. This live stream tonight is actually about you, the parent, not so much about your child. But if you find yourself comparing your child to other children and you have ever said something like, my child can't do that, or my child won't do that, eat that, say that, play that, then I want to talk to you about the 3-letter word yet. It's a tiny little word with a lot of power. This little word continues to change mindsets, change actions, and creates a whole new belief system in my one-to-one coaching. I'm going to share this important shift with you tonight because the action that my clients take when they add this word to their vocabulary makes them go in a very short time, just 3 days. They go from yet to yes, and it's very powerful. Now, I've spoken to a number of parents over the last week, that's why I'm talking to you about this, who said to me, no, I can't do that, or no, that won't happen, or no, the school won't do that, or just no, we can't try that. So hi, Denise, if that sounds like you, if you've ever made a statement like that, I want you to think about how adding one little word to your vocabulary will change your whole perspective, which actually changes your behavior. I want you to think about how adding this little word to the end of your sentence actually changes how you feel, which changes how you act. Let's practice. So, let's practice adding this word to the end of a sentence that you know to be true about your child. So we can do this here, but you can also just do it in your head. I want you to think of a sentence that limits your belief about your child. We can use one from you. I've got some here. If you can think of one and you'd like me to use your example, type it in the comments. But what do you know to be true? And this is not meant to be judgmental. This is not meant to make you feel badly that your child can't do something or won't do something. It's an exercise in watching how the whole vibe or feel changes when you add one little word. So if you want to type something in below there, I'll use it. But what I'm thinking of is something like, my child isn't toilet trained. My child won't sleep through the night. My child won't get ready for school. My child won't stop hitting themselves. My child won't eat with a fork. And Beth, you did it. My granddaughter doesn't sleep all night yet. I love it. All of these phrases that I just said, and like the one that Beth just said, they were all said by my clients, all of them. So now let's add the word yet, just like Beth did. My granddaughter doesn't sleep all night yet. My child isn't toilet trained yet. My child won't go or won't get ready for school yet. My child won't stop hitting me or themselves yet. Does that feel different to you? It actually changes your perspective and it changes your thoughts and your actions. Why? Because that tiny little word implies that it will happen. And the implication that something is going to happen causes behavior to change. And it adds hope into the mixture. How? You're wondering, how does that work? It demands that you look at how you're communicating, what you're doing, the parent, to perpetuate a belief. It's like it's a new belief. My child isn't toilet trained. That's just a blanket statement. But my child isn't toilet trained yet adds in the belief and the hope and the action that you're going to take to get them there. Yet is a word that is so powerful that my own clients, they use it on a daily. A while ago, I was talking to a couple about walking to school. Their child was starting kindergarten. He started in September this past year. And we were putting everything in place to make that transition really easy peasy. And that included walking to school. Hi, Myra. But the child had never walked. They'd always ridden in a stroller. The child had literally never walked. And this is for a different live stream, but a number of people this week reached out to talk about what do you do with your child if they can't walk and they're too big for the stroller? But we'll talk about that another time. So I asked them, so what does it look like when you go to the park? Because the child couldn't walk. And one of them said, oh, we can't go to the park. And guess what the other parent said? They said, yet we're about to make a plan to make this happen. And then they both looked into the camera and they said, go. And we made the best plan ever. And we made a plan based on them knowing that even though he couldn't walk, it was just yet. And yet gave them permission to put things in place to make it happen. Without the word yet, they would have been stuck at can't or won't. And they would have been worried about how their child was going to get to school in September. They would have hoped for the best. If you've ever been there where you know that you've got to do something with your child, you are worried about the outcome or how that's going to go, but you have no idea how to prepare for that. So the day comes and it's kind of a shit show. If you've been there, I get it. But hope is not a strategy. I have a whole live stream about how hope never works. It just creates stress and anxiety around a looming situation that hasn't happened yet. And that's a different live stream as well. I have so many stories about the word yet. Another couple who hadn't slept in the same bed for years because one of the parents slept with the child in their marital bed and the other parent slept in the child's bed. One of the parents said to me, oh, we don't sleep together anymore. He doesn't sleep in his own bed. And I added the word yet to their sentence. I repeated it back to them and said yet. And they both looked at me like I had two heads. And 2 weeks later, he was in his own bed. And they came on the call with me laughing, saying, "You're right about that word yet." They were stuck at can't. And when you add yet to the end, you go from yet to yes, because it actually changes your beliefs and your actions. So I'm wondering about who's on this call. If you're ever stuck in a belief, or that you feel like, well, we've got it better than other families, so we're just thankful that we're just doing the best that we can, and thankful that you don't have it that bad. I've had lots of parents say to me, "Oh, we don't need to do anything. We don't have it that bad." Or are you just content to think that it could always be worse, so you stay stuck where you are because you're thankful that it's really not all that bad? Do you ever say any of those things that I just said? Like, "Whoa, I can't go to the park. I can't take my child in public. We can't do the family reunion." Like any of those types of things? Believing that you're not stuck, or that you don't have to settle, is your first step. Believing that you can make change will have you looking for other options, different strategies, and ways to communicate to your child that's different than just the hard stop at can't. Does that make sense? I'm telling you, if you use the word yet, you are propelled forward. You're motivated to find solutions. Like the other family that I coached, whose 4-year-old child wouldn't go to sleep, or like the one who slept in their own bed, there was this other family whose child wouldn't go to bed without a bottle, and he was 4. We were talking about their goals and what they wanted to accomplish, and the parents said, "He won't sleep without a bottle." And I said, "Yet. He won't sleep without a bottle yet." And they thought I was crazy. And just a few days later, no more bottle. And guess what? They too were laughing on the call. They just couldn't believe that once they changed their mindset, they actually started to look for solutions and follow through on them. Yet at the end of your sentence creates goals. They're meaningful and real and tangible, and they're your goals, not goals imposed on you by somebody else. They're real and meaningful because they're your personal goals. And just because you put yet at the end of your sentence doesn't mean that it's magically going to happen. It means that you have a goal and that you're motivated to find solutions and strategies to achieve the goal. Yet implies that the thing is going to happen because you are going to make it happen. Like another family I coached, I helped them with toileting. They thought it would never happen, that he wasn't ready, he didn't have words or understand or feel that feeling of what it was like to have to go. When they said, "Well, our child isn't toilet trained," guess what I said? Yet. And we made a plan. And it was hard work. And we did it as a team with me coaching them every day for that first week. But 4 weeks later, he was toilet trained. So, what's the value in the word yet? The value is it moves you forward. It actually demands that you believe change is going to happen. It never lets you give into can't. And it gives you small steps to work towards. Yet gives you the power to show up differently, with intention, with grace, and with the belief that your child can and will accomplish things. Without yet, you're just stuck at can't or won't. And that's a lonely place to be. My call to action for you this week is to add yet to the end of your sentences when you're talking about your child. Say it out loud and believe it, because it will change your beliefs and your actions. And if you want help with that change, you just let me know. Have a great night, everyone. Happy Monday, and have a wonderful week. Goodbye.